Hello?
Hello, I'm calling from the ambulance service. Do you require an ambulance?
Yeah. McDonald's, we've got the police here now though, but we're urgent ambulance. Right outside of McDonald's, a guy's been hit by a truck.
On the early hours of the 2nd of June, we had a knock on the door from the police who said that Lewis had been involved in a serious road traffic accident in the town.
What I was told of, what I have a vague memory of, was I was hit by a Tesco lorry.
They were quite insistent that we needed to go to the hospital as soon as possible, and they told us that he'd been taken to the Queen's Medical Centre.
So I got under the back wheels, rolled around. I thought I was actually ran over, but I'd rolled around, and that's how most of the bones and everything got broken and cut, and I ended up pretty much dead in the road.
Do you want me to hand you over to the police officer? Excuse me, I've got an ambulance on the phone.
He'd been crushed under a lorry.
Hello, this is the police.
Hello.
He had a bleed in his head with a substantial head injury.
Hi, yeah, he's just about conscious and breathing. We've got a very terrible leg injury.
And had been just crushed and so flattened off to the side.
Completely ripped the right side of his leg open.
The skin had essentially been ripped off his body in a sort of band, I guess about a foot wide.
A lot of blood. We need an ambulance as soon as possible.
His bowel had been damaged inside his body.
And is it just him that's been injured?
Yeah.
His bladder had been ripped off the pipe that comes out to the outside.
Is anyone trapped?
Right, just wait a moment because I think he's stopped breathing. I'm going to have to get off the phone. Just get someone to me.
He had 2 cardiac arrests at the time due to loss of blood.
And a lady from McDonald's who works there came out, gave me CPR, so the ambulance got there and revived me.
So me and my wife Kim jumped in the car and went straight up there. I phoned my oldest son, who actually lives in Nottingham, to meet us on the way. And when we got to the hospital, Philip, his brother, was already there. And we were directed to the relatives room in the A&E department. They explained to us that there had been a lot of people working on him, and that they weren't sure, his blood pressure was very low, and they weren't sure what would happen next. But they said that if his blood pressure sort of stabilised, then they would look to see about scanning him to find out the severity of his injuries. They told us that he had lots of tubes in him, and that if we wanted to spend a brief period of time with him, but to make it brief because they had a lot to do, which we accepted readily. And we went in, the trauma team sort of stood back, they draped a sort of sheet over most of Lewis's activity, but we could see it had been a busy area, and he was intubated, and we just sort of held his hand for a bit. I whispered in his ear to keep fighting and to work with the medical staff.
My role at that stage was as the major trauma consultant. It's essentially, I guess, liaising with everyone and bringing everyone together really to coordinate all the different services who are doing their bit and trying to make sure it all comes together in one cohesive package to make the best of it, because sometimes in each of the individual specialties, so he would have been seeing neurosurgery, general surgery, plastic surgery, orthopedic surgery, as well as the critical care doctors. So all of those different specialties are doing their thing for him, and sometimes even when each specialty is doing everything perfectly, it doesn't all kind of come together, I guess, in a cohesive package for the patient, and really that's what the major trauma role and the major trauma centre is trying to promote and make work perfectly, so that each service is doing a great job, but then together they're all doing a great job too.
It's all about looking after people like Lewis. People have life-changing and devastating injuries. We know that getting him to us soon, if we have the expert care from our surgeons here, from our critical care teams, from the major trauma ward where we are today, will have a huge impact on his outcome, on his future life. An opportunity to look after him here. If we didn't have that opportunity to come here, he would not we know, do as well as he is now. So that's why it's so important to us, and as clinical teams we've been so keen to deliver this, to look after people exactly like Lewis, who have horrific injuries, but ones that with the right team of people we can do an awful lot to try and put those right and to return him to a good quality of life.
I think by about 10 o'clock, something like that, maybe a little bit later, 10 o'clock at night, we were taken into intensive care. We were met by a lovely nurse in intensive care, can't remember her name, looking for my wife to see if she remembered, but she explained everything. She explained the tubes that were in. I counted, I think, about 12 at least tubes from either his airway to IVs to monitoring leads, cannulas. He had a fixator pulling his thigh down on his leg. He had a huge bandage on his head because of the swelling. He had a pin through, pulling it down on his leg. I'm trying to think what else. It was just pretty chaotic for us. But we were just happy that he was in intensive care.
Down here, which is hopefully coming off today, I have 2 skin grafts, which are my latest ones, the newest ones, and they're up here on my hip, and they are exactly like this one, but one other side, so it's not too bad. So these 4 started to move all up here because I had a cut which started from here and went all the way along and made a right mess of the flesh, as I'm told, up to here and up to my waist. They had to take out a bit of my skull, so if you could see it here, and the scar goes all the way around, and it's actually quite self-conscious I am about it, so that's why I wear the cap. That's how I never normally wear hats, but they're gonna look at filling it with a titanium plate in about 3 months. The newest skin grafts are actually behind here, and that's the final skin graft surgery, but it's loose because the surgeon wanted me to wear it, so as I do. The cut here was made all around, and for the colostomy bag to be fitted, and I have that now for the next 4 months.
We've seen the results of your urethrogram study, and so it shows the 2 ends of the tube.
By regionalising trauma care to specialist centres, we can save an extra 20% of lives. So across the East Midlands, that means every year about 100 lives will be saved by having a major trauma centre in place and the system behind it than would be the case otherwise. We went live at the very beginning of April 2012. That's after about 3 or 4 years of hard work, both by NUH and across the whole of the East Midlands region. I've known for a long time that by having regional major trauma centres that look after the most severely injured patients, that we can improve the outcome. What I mean by that is that more people will survive the most horrific injuries by centralising their care to organisations like NUH, where we've got all the skills and the resources to look after them optimally.
Well, I went to ICU and I have no memory of that at all, but I've been told by my brother, mum, dad, relatives and my girlfriend that the care in there was exceptional. They've said that there was a nurse by your bed every time. I mean, I said I don't remember any of it, but I've been told that it was fantastic.
It was a massive relief. One, that he's going to recover. The issue then is you almost get off one train and get onto another train, and this train's going in a different direction, and it's about okay, how is he going to recover? What special support will he need? What will he be able to achieve? What won't he be able to achieve? So again, you're on a different route with different worries, but they're not as concerning, I suppose, as the worries before, but at the same time they are still very concerning. We gave Lewis, when he was in hospital, 2 aims. The first one was to get home, the second one was to get back to work. He's achieved the first aim, and there's the rehabilitation now, along with outpatient appointments and additional surgery which will come, and then to get back to work. So we're happy for that, going in that direction.
But no, I think the staff have done a fantastic job. Mr. Ford as well, he's been to see me most days. I mean, he's been brilliant. So I'm here today for them.